Imagine standing in the middle of the world's noise, and feeling nothing but clarity. No anxiety. No anger. Just control. What if the most powerful move isn't to strike back, but to say nothing? What if wisdom means responding less and thinking more? You've been reacting your whole life. Maybe it's time to pause. We live in a world that runs on reaction. Social media, news alerts, text messages, and emails all pull at our attention and pressure us to respond right now. To speak up. To push back. To weigh in. Somewhere in all that noise, thoughtful reflection gets drowned out. The Stoics would find this strange. They believed that the key to a good life was not in reacting to everything, but in learning how to pause, reflect, and choose one's response deliberately. Not everything deserves a reaction. In fact, most things don't. The idea of respond less, think more isn't just about being quiet. It's about being in control. It's about learning to live according to your values, rather than getting swept up in the emotional currents of the moment. In a world that rewards hot takes and instant opinions, the Stoic path asks us to do something harder but ultimately more powerful: slow down and think. Before we get into what the Stoics say, it's worth asking, why do we react so quickly in the first place? The answer lies partly in how we're wired. Humans are social animals, and quick responses used to mean survival. Spotting a threat and reacting immediately kept our ancestors alive. But in the modern world, most of the threats we face are emotional or psychological. A snarky comment, a passive-aggressive email, a rude driver. And still, we respond as if our life depends on it. We also react because it feels good, at least temporarily. It feels good to clap back, to vent, to get that clever jab in first. But afterward? Not so much. Often, we regret what we said or did in haste. The damage can be small, a hurt relationship, or more serious, like a reputation harmed or an opportunity lost. This is where the Stoics offer a different path. Stoicism teaches that we can't control what happens to us, but we can always control how we respond. That's the core of the philosophy. Epictetus, one of the best-known Stoic thinkers, put it plainly, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. What does that mean in practice? It means putting a gap between stimulus and response. That moment of pause, of not doing anything, is where your freedom lies. You get to choose. You don't have to reply to that email right away. You don't have to defend yourself against every slight. You don't have to give your opinion on every topic. You can stop. Think. Consider. And then decide whether responding is even worth it. That gap is where character is built. We tend to think that being responsive, quick on our feet, and always ready with an answer is a strength. And in some situations, it is. But if you're always in response mode, you're letting the world set your agenda. You're not acting on your own principles, you're reacting to someone else's behavior. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote often about the importance of not being pulled off course by others. You always own the option of having no opinion, he wrote in Meditations. There's never a need to get worked up or to trouble your soul. That's radical advice in a time when we're expected to have a take on everything. But it's also freeing. You're not required to react. You're not obligated to fight every battle. You can disengage. You can let things be. One reason we default to reacting is that thinking is hard. It takes time. It's uncomfortable. It forces us to sit with uncertainty, and many people would rather do anything than feel uncertain. But Stoicism encourages exactly that, to sit with our thoughts, to ask hard questions, to examine what we value. Seneca, another prominent Stoic, wrote about the value of reflection at the end of each day. He reviewed his actions, asked himself where he could have done better, and tried to understand his own mind more clearly. That kind of mental discipline is rare today, but it's what leads to clarity. Thinking, real thinking, requires us to step back. It requires us to see the big picture. If someone insults you, the reactive thing is to insult them back. The thoughtful thing is to ask, why am I upset? Do I value their opinion? Will this matter in a week? In a year? Often, you'll find the answer is no. Restraint isn't weakness. It's strength under control. It's the ability to hold back, even when every part of you wants to jump in. Imagine a situation where someone criticizes your work in front of others. Your instinct might be to defend yourself, to fire back, or to make a sarcastic comment. But what if you didn't? What if you paused, took a breath, and gave yourself time to think? Maybe the criticism had some truth to it. Maybe it didn't. But in either case, responding in anger won't help. Holding back, even just for a few moments, gives you power. You're not letting them control you. You're choosing your response with intention. That kind of strength is rare. But it's what Stoicism aims to cultivate. We don't always need to say something. Silence itself can be a powerful answer. It signals that you're not playing the same game. That you don't need to prove yourself. That you're thinking on a different level. There's a line from Epictetus that captures this perfectly. If anyone tells you that a certain person speaks ill of you, do not make excuses about what is said of you, but answer, he was ignorant of my other faults, else he would not have mentioned these alone. It's not just witty, it's wise. It's a reminder that we don't have to defend ourselves constantly. Let people talk. Let things pass. Stay grounded in who you are. So how do we actually apply this idea of responding less and thinking more in daily life? Here are a few practical steps. Pause before responding. When you get that text or email that stirs you up, wait. Even 5 minutes can make a difference. Walk away if you need to. Ask, is this worth it? Not everything requires your energy. Some things are better left alone. Your time and focus are limited, spend them wisely. Journal. Writing helps clarify your thoughts. Spend a few minutes each day reflecting on how you handled challenges, where you reacted emotionally, and how you might do better next time. Practice detachment. Don't take everything personally. Most of the time, people's behavior says more about them than about you. Revisit your values. When you know what you stand for, it's easier to choose your responses. You don't get pushed around by every passing emotion. The world is noisy. People will test your patience. Your phone will beg for your attention. Your ego will want to react. But you always have a choice. The Stoic path isn't about being passive. It's about being deliberate. It's about choosing what's worthy of your time and attention, and letting go of the rest. Respond less, think more isn't just a catchy phrase. It's a philosophy of life. One that values reflection over reaction, clarity over chaos, and inner peace over temporary victories. In the end, the less you react, the more you can see. The more you think, the more you can grow. That's the quiet power of Stoicism, and it's never been more relevant. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below.